So elevate your pelvis, roll your tush out from underneath you. Get grounded in that first floor of your body, which you know really well by now. And find the long spine, central channel, center of yourself. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up to the ears. And exhale, roll them down and back behind your heart center. Do that a few more times on your own, just shrugging the shoulders up with the inhale, down and back with the exhale. And find a point of focus, whether that's on the exterior or the interior, perhaps to your third eye center if your eyes are closed. And just hold your ground. Find your internal space. The best way to access that is through the breath. So feel your breath, feel prana, the life force energy, penetrating down to your depths and rising all the way up to your heights. And then as well, all around into your circumference. You here now at the center of it all. This crossroads of consciousness, the heart center. And can you even notice just after 1 or 2 minutes of conscious posture and breath, do you feel a bit more present? Do you feel a bit more connected to your own self? And just even looking back on the escalation of things this week, how are you doing? Check in. And just know that it's okay to feel whatever you feel. It's important, in fact, to acknowledge what it is that you feel, to lean into it. And to recognize that so very many things are out of our control. And yet, at the same time, other side of the coin, so many things really are in our control. And we learn that through these embodied practices on the mat, and through these skilled breathing techniques, the conscious observation of our own mind. So hold space for yourself. Just by being here right now on your mat, you're doing that. You're cleaning up your own house, maintaining your own sacred temple. Can you funnel your breath even a bit deeper? Just breathe into the full capacity of your lungs. And bring your hands together at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. So you can here think and reflect upon your gratitude that even when life gets turned upside down, we have so many ways to stay grounded, to stay connected to each other. And may we all be able to really lean in and just embrace this opportunity to slow down, to be home, to take care, to do less, to be more. And hold that vision of your gratitude in your mind's eye. Just stay nice and lifted through your central channel, getting your lungs ready to chant. One cleansing breath, one round of Om. And I know that since you're alone at home, you can really make this count. Nobody in the studio to judge you, not like anybody's ever judging you anyway, based on your own, but really put your throat chakra into it, because that vibration of the Om is the primordial sound and vibration of the universe, so it has a healing quality to it in and of itself. So tap into that, tap into your voice. Remember, your speech, your voice is articulated from your heart center. So oming, chanting, so nourishing for the heart. All right, go to the bottom of your breath and take a deep inhale. Open your mouth to let it out. Breathe in. And bow your head to that center of your own self. Here where you are realized. Seat of the inner teacher. And half of the whole heart center. Bring your hands down. Lift your head, open your eyes. Inhale, wrap your shoulders down and back behind your heart as you broaden your chest. Tilt your head slightly back. Lift your gaze for your seated cow pose. And then exhale, round your back, lengthening your arms a bit forward, your hands down your legs, so you can fully contract into seated cat. Inhale, lift up, seated cow. Feel your weight more on your sits bones. And then exhale, roll your weight more back over your tailbone, your cat. Inhale, lift, extend. Exhale, flex, hollow out. Inhale. Exhale. A few more cycles of cow and cat, pulsing with your breath. One more round. And then come back to your neutral spine, sitting up nice and tall. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, wrap your right arm underneath your left to find your eagle wings wrapped. And you can take this to opposite shoulders or keep the length upward through the forearms and the fingertips. You can also bind your left wrist with your right hand. Draw the elbows forward and up. And breathe into the back of your heart center. And then while you're here, take your head off to one side and do a few half circles, rolling it out. And bring your head right back up on top of your spine. And draw your elbows even a little bit more forward and up. Start to shift them off to your right side. And then bring your chin up and over to your left, right on top of that left shoulder. So you've got a natural fit there. Make the contact and use that contact to help leverage you more up through your chest, through your lungs, throat center, third eye. About 10 rounds of Kapalabhati, Pranayama. So that's that short snap of the belly in to force the breath out through the nose. And let it have some good sound. Excuse me. Take a deep breath in and out through the nose. Once you've done 10, inhale. Get a little bit more lift. Full exhale. And bring it back to center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, take your left arm underneath. Second round. So first, just hold it steady. And really feel that your elbows and your wrists are lined up with your central channel. From that base of the pelvis out the top of the head. Keep that active lift through the arms, through the sides of the body, through the sides of the neck. And now take your elbows off to your left side, your chin up and off to your right. Make contact there. So we're really tapping here into the thyroid gland, helping to boost metabolism, regulate energy, internal body temperature. And then we're really lighting the fire with these Kapalabhati breaths. So short snaps, belly in, breath out through the nose. About 10 cycles. Give yourself a big inhale to prepare. And go. Inhale. And exhale. Bring it back to center. Inhale, re-reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, take your left hand down, stretch over to your left side. Revolve the chest up, let that heart sing up and out to the right. Movement into potential, that dawning of feeling. I'm getting curious, what's out there for me? And inhale up through center to exhale other side. Relax that bottom right shoulder away from the ear. So make sure you have enough space between your hip and your hand there on the floor on your mat. Now revolve the right side of the chest upward. Reflection on the vision through time. Inhale through center and exhale back over to your left. Inhale through center, back over to your right. Couple more rounds, side to side, lateral stretch. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up. Find that nice lift, upper arm bones frame the ears, pinky fingers in, palms back. 2 full breaths into the tops of your lungs, right under your collarbones. And still right on top of that pelvic base, perineum, rooted down into the earth. Deep breath in. And exhale, bring your hands down. Make your way to all fours, tabletop. Meow. Line everything up. Solid here in your tabletop pose. 90-degree angles at the wrists, at the hips. And just feel your core muscles drawing into your spine, filling out your lower back. Push into the mat, broaden your collarbones, and get long through all sides of the neck. And tuck your toes and walk your hands a bit forward on the mat. And just to make sure there that you've got shoulder width distance, turn the hands into measure, tips of the middle fingers meet, and then pivot on that inner wrist corner so that your wrists are parallel to the top edge of the mat, and you have a bit of a spread through all your fingers. And it doesn't need to be too wide. You don't want to be spread too thin. Exhale, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Take it for a walk, wag the tail, shake out the head. Any movement that feels good is welcome. You can imagine that you have about a 60-degree angle at your hip joints. Lift your heels enough that there's no wrinkles on the fronts of the ankles. And if you tend to be somebody that slumps in your lower back, that really rounds there, then bend your knees even more and lift your tail up. If you tend to be somebody that easily dumps into the joints, which is a little more my tendency, your ribs jut way out, you lose that muscle energy, then you're going to focus on really engaging your strength and hugging to your center line, that center of your circumference. And maybe you're someone who really lands in the middle of those two cues. So it's all about you feeling for yourself what works, what resonates. Inhale, shift yourself forward to a plank pose so you can really proof this by coming straight forward without moving the feet. Shoulders over the wrists, heels over the balls of the feet. Activate the thighs, inner thighs spiral to the ceiling. And then the eyes of the elbows are in toward one another and just slightly spiraled forward. Feel like you could stretch your mat apart in half, lengthwise, underneath your hands. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. And just do that twice more, proofing the length between your hands and your feet. Inhale, plank. Without shifting your feet, exhale, downward dog. One more time. Inhale, forward. Press into your inner wrist, cross-reference to your base knuckle, pinky fourth finger. Exhale, dog. And then the outer wrist to the base of the thumb and the index. Center the wrist to the middle finger. Base knuckle joint where that finger inserts into the hand. Press so you can even float your fingertips off the mat. And keep your armpits spiraling in your heart center. Inhale, extend the right leg up and back. Three-legged dog. Keep lengthening your outer left hip back. As your right toes flex straight down. Take another full inhale. Exhale, round your back as you bring your knee in towards your navel in your plank pose. You can even take your gaze down and back to meet it. Inhale, extend back. Exhale, curl in. One more with your breath. Inhale, extend. Exhale, step the foot between your hands through to a lunge. And pause when you get there. And you can always opt to use your blocks here underneath your hands if you need a little bit more of height to stay in your alignment. And a good way to know that your front leg is in a good place is to flip the right wrist, put it on the outside of your right heel, and feel that natural fit in your own body. Feel the knee, wrist to shoulder. Accelerate more of your weight into the ball of your front foot and keep pressing your left heel back. Put your hips on a clock, so your right hip's at 3 and your left hip's at 9. Pubic bones going forward to 12, coccyx back to 6. Place your left hand down either to your block or fingertips to the mat underneath the shoulder. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Avoid dumping your weight into your bottom joints. Focus on lifting up and really twist into your center line. Few breaths here. Spinal twist. Inhale, left lung, exhale, right nostril. One more full breath. Exhale, release your hand. And start to lengthen through your front leg a bit and bring your back foot a tad closer. You can keep the heel hovering off the mat. Walk your hands or blocks way forward. And then just a little bit more of a bend into your front knee so you can still feel your hips on the clock. Got a nice contact, right side of the belly to the thigh. Deep breath in. Exhale, melt your heart. And frame your ears with your upper arm bones. So you're in a variation of pyramid. Couple more deep breaths. Inhale, extend your spine forward and bring your hands back. Return into a lunge stance. Now gather your strength to the midline so it really feels like you're going to slide your feet toward one another on that shallow diagonal. Your hips are on the clock. Inhale, rise and reach up. High crescent lunge. So crescent for the shape through your back body like a crescent moon. Keep the heart centered between back and front. Steady the gaze. Reconnect with the breath. Your breath is your biggest ally here. Use its support to help fuel you, as well to help keep your whole system calm and grounded as you build fire this morning. As you burn to ashes, whatever it is, you're ready to release and sweep away with that breath. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend your elbows out to the sides and hover your back knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower hover. Your elbows are 90 degrees like goalposts. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hold right here and take the hands behind you to interlace at your sacrum. Plug your shoulders and your elbows back. Bring your sternum forward and up. Keep hovering that back knee. Continue to accelerate forward into the ball of your front foot. So you can find a little more backward bend. Nice vista. Maybe your front heel lifts. Challenging balance. Roots, foundation. 2 more breaths. Shakety, shake, shake. And then release. Heel down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring it to the mat. Inhale, send the right leg up and back behind you to 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, roll the hip open. Take a few breaths and let it all settle. Coming back to your center. As well, enjoying a nice counter stretch there in your right hip. And release back to your downward facing dog. Take a full breath. Inhale, come forward to plank posture. Remember, you proofed that length. Down dog, plank. Feel free to send your knees down to the mat to support you so that you're not dumping hips first and putting that low back, shoulders at risk. If you know you can keep the line, full plank extension of the knees. Take a deep breath in. Keep pushing through your hands, and as you exhale, draw your elbows back, slowly lower to the mat. And then once you arrive, stretch your toes back behind you. Keep your feet hips width so you're not compressing too much in your lower back, and maintain lots of nice space there. So inner thighs up, curl the tail back, and then press your pubic bone down and forward into the mat. So there's your 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock cue coming back in. Inhale, lift the heart. Starting with a little baby cobra to warm up the back. To lift it up against gravity. To catch a signal out the satellite, top of the head. Keep your legs strong and your breath flowing. Shoulders away from the ears. And exhale to lower your chest. Bring your hands a little down your rib cage. You can also widen them apart a bit. Plug the elbows back. Inhale. Loop the shoulders back and start to lift up a little more. And think about going forward as you lift up, because this is spinal extension. Every back bend is a spinal extension. Another full breath. And exhale to release. We're going to do that one more time, cobra posture. Keep the weight in your hands really nice and cross-referenced. All 10 toenails down. Inhale all the way up, Bhujangasana. Keep your pubic bone on the mat so you're not fully lifting your pelvis. And if it serves you to get a little more lift through the gaze, the crown, find that lift and drag the mat down and back isometrically under the hands. Big inhale. Exhale, lower it down. Bring your hands into the sides of the chest, and now technically here, your thumbs are in line with your nipples. Right, Ziggy? So that when you do press up, you'll be in the perfect position in your hands for your plank and then your downward facing dog. So tuck the toes. Remember, you're welcome to ground your knees to support you so you don't crunch in your low back or hurt your shoulders. Inhale, press through your feet, through your hands, and rise up. Exhale, downward dog. Finding your measurements again, 60 degrees at the hips. Feet are hips width distance apart. That's the length of one foot. Hands are shoulder width. Should have measured that out already when you had your hands where they were in your plank. Inhale, extend the left leg up. 3-leg dog. Keep your hips on the clock. No creases in the front of the right ankle. Full breaths. 3 times. Exhale. Draw the knee into the navel. Even let your head come down to meet it. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step all the way through. Lunge. Add in your blocks if they serve you. Flip the left wrist outside of the left heel. In that natural fit of you with yourself. And take your right hand down, line it up under your shoulder. You're on a block or you're on the mat. Now if you're on the mat, I recommend staying on your fingertips. You're not too low, and then less likely that that right hip's gonna dump forward. Keep it lifted, inner rotate the back thigh. Inhale, left arm up. Twist your spine so you're really coming into your central channel, coiling around it like a serpent snake. From the root, from the basement, all the way up to the penthouse suite at top. Keep your head even between your shoulders. Maintain your breath. Anchor into the big left toe ball mound. Cross-reference with that outer heel to the inner knee, to the outer hip. 2 more full breaths. Wrap the shoulder blades back to catch the heart from behind. Inhale, unwind. Slightly shorten your stance by bringing your back foot a little closer. Keep the side of the foot parallel to that long side edge of your mat. So you're not coming into full traditional pyramid, just this variation. Walk it forward. Big inhale to extend. A little more of a bend in your front knee. And exhale, melt the heart. Frame the ears with your upper arms, keeping that integrity through your neck. And that cervical curve there. So rather than letting your head dump all the way down, can you keep that openness of the channel between the heart, throat, the third eye? And also a little more engagement for those muscles in your upper back and neck, rather than letting them just passively hang and weaken all the time every time you forward fold. Let's take another 2 breaths. And inhale, lengthen, extend. Bring your hands back to frame your foot. Scoot your right foot back a bit again. Getting ready to come on up to your high crescent lunge. So you've got that 90-degree bend now in your front knee. Beautiful crescent moon shape through the back body. Five times to pulse. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hover the back knee, elbows out wide. Stay on your central spin. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower. 3 more times with your breath. If this is feeling challenging, good. Hold. Take the hands behind you to interlace opposite thumb on the outside, right at your sacrum. Wrap your elbows, shoulders back, lift your sternum. Get that nice high vista. Option to lift the front heel. Plug into the big left toe ball mound. Remember, you're cross-referencing that to your outer heel, to your inner knee, to your outer hip. One more breath. And then release it all. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, 3-leg dog. Exhale, bend the knee and roll the hip. Woo! Hope you're all feeling that. Another couple deep breaths. Enjoying the counter stretch. Feeling of head below the heart. Remember, any sounds you need to make are welcome. Safest place you can do it in the comfort of your own home, where no one's going to judge you for sounding weird. Inhale, re-extend that 3-leg dog, and exhale, come into the downward facing dog. Inhale to your plank. Exhale, lower, leading with your chest. Press through the hands, elbows back. Inhale, 1 round of cobra. Make sure you can feel your glutes toning. Help stabilize your sacrum, your SI joint. Exhale, lower. Bring those hands in, thumbs in line with the nipples, tuck the toes, inhale, press. Exhale to dog. Take a full breath. And make your way to a tabletop. Send your right leg out to the side from your hip for your gate posture. Make sure you've got a nice stack on that bottom leg. You can always use a block to make sure you're all lined up. Rise up. And depending on what feels good for you on that outside foot, you can have it parallel. You can turn it out a little bit. Just think about keeping your hips as balanced and as neutral as possible here in the gate. Inhale, reach the arms up. Flip your left palm, bind the wrist with your right hand. And exhale over to the right side. Maintain your breath. And let that right side of the chest revolve up, keeping your head in between. Right shoulder to upper outer left eye, left shoulder to upper outer right eye. There's your X, where it marks the spot in the center. That's where your head is. Inhale, come back up, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands down, right underneath your shoulders. If you still have that block there, it's flush, making contact with your left thigh and not tipping forward either. Now, turn those right toes forward. Get ready to really engage. Press into the mat or press into the floor and float that right leg up. And can you keep continuing to press into your left hand? We're here for 3, Keep your inner thigh parallel with the floor. For 2. And then on 1, gently place it down. Come onto your fingertips. And now bring your left hand on the mat at the side of your left side of the body. So you're prepping essentially here for a side plank posture. And you can still be on the block, or maybe you're on your fingertips, up to you. Inhale, extend your right arm forward and over, bicep alongside the ear, palm downwards. So that armpit is rotating into the heart center on the right side. Now find your breath. Even though you're static, you're still in this posture. It's very dynamic. You can feel the muscle energy hugging to the bones, into the center line, into the center of yourself. And then you can feel the stretch as well and the expansion of the breath into your circumference from the core to the periphery. And those two opposing forces working together really helps you to stay balanced. Not work too hard and burn out, and also not work too little. Reach your right leg up, bend the knee, and take that right hand back to the top of the foot or the ankle, and kick it. So you're in a bow, opening up the heart, the gaze. Gaze can be down, can be straight ahead, could be spiraled up. Feel that hollowness in the center of your left palm, similar to the inside of the elbow, center of the armpit, the palate, the crown of the head. One more breath. Inhale, extend. Bring your right hand to your hip from there. Place it down. Now use your core strength in your obliques to inhale, help you rise all the way up. In fact, let's just play with that a bit. Arms up. Tilt to your left. How far can you go without collapsing, without losing the shape? Inhale up. Twice more. Exhale. Reach. Inhale. One more. Reach, 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 reach. Ground, ground, ground through that right foot, left knee. Inhale to take it up. Exhale to release it down. Bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck your back toes, and sit back onto that heel while you allow your right toes to flex up. So you're gonna feel a really nice inner thigh stretch here. Couple deep breaths. Keep breathing into the tops of the lungs, right into the collarbones. Inhale to make your way back to table. Take a full breath. Ooh, I'm feeling some core heat. Feels good to move on a Saturday morning, doesn't it? Okay, other side. Take your left leg out. And then just to hold you accountable to the archetype, you can use that block there. Flush with your right thigh. Make sure it's not tipping forward and that you're not losing contact either. Inhale, rise. Reach up. Notice what's going on there with your left foot. Nice neutral pelvis. And flip your right palm up behind the wrist with your left hand and exhale, pull it over to the left. Deep breaths. Let that heart sing up and out. Feel your roots, your foundation supporting the lateral action, movement into potential. And inhale, rise. Exhale, bring the hands down. Underneath the shoulders, turn your left toes straight ahead. Now lift the leg all the way up. Really feel that engagement on the outside top of the leg. Inner thigh parallel with the floor. Keep anchoring into your right hand for another 3, 2, and on 1, place it back down. Now take your right hand over. Remember, blocks optional. It can be on your fingertips, up to you. Inhale, extend your left arm forward and over. Turn to modified side plank. Just taking a couple breaths to feel into it. And then lift your left leg. Bend the knee and reach your top hand back. So you can catch the foot of the ankle and start to kick into a bow shape. Feeling that stretch all the way into your chest, front of your shoulder, inside of the upper arm. If you want to tap more into your quadricep, then you bend that top elbow more and have the heel closer to the seat, a little more on the outside. 2 more breaths. And bring your top hand to your hip as you inhale and re-extend that top leg, placing it down onto the mat. Use your core strength, tapping into those obliques, which help you to tilt laterally. Inhale, bring it up. Arms up. 3 times. Exhale, tilts. Inhale up. Twice more. Without dumping onto that bottom shoulder with your ear. Keep your head on the spit. Inhale up. 1 more. Inhale up. Exhale, bring the hands down. Flex your left toes skyward. Tuck your back toes, your right foot. And sit onto that heel. So it's like a half of a toe crunch. And then a big inner thigh stretch on that extended leg. And a couple deep breaths. And inhale, come forward to bring it back to your table, to come back to downward facing dog. Working in all your little measurements that you need. It's that repetitive part of the practice. We're always coming back just to hold ourselves accountable to our alignment. I'm just checking on the time, everybody. All right. Bring yourself about halfway up your mat with your feet so you can find your standing forward bend. 2 fists to measure out the center inner arches of the feet, hips width. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward so you're in a halfway lift, accelerating into the balls of the feet. Again, pull your ribs and your core muscles in so you can feel that connection to your lower back. And then if you're on the other end of the spectrum, where you're stuck back in your heels and you're rounded, I want you to bend your knees more so you can feel the weight in the balls of the feet. Send your tush out and back and feel that extension of your whole spine. Another big inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Take a breath. Bring your hands together in an interlace, and you're going to be really tight all the way to the webbing. And this is going to come right underneath the chin. Elbows out to the sides. So think of it like a ledge or a countertop under your chin. Start to bend your knees. And then pull your chin forward as you come to more of a parallel position with the floor in your chair, from your sits bones through your crown. Pull that chin forward. And we're tapping into the thyroid gland again here. Can you lift your heels up and maintain the position? Two more breaths. Keep looking ahead, everybody. Ground through the heels without dumping weight back. Press into the earth. Keep lifting that chin. And at the tippy top, organize around your central spit. Remember, coccyx 12, pubis 12, or coccyx 6 rather, pubis 12. Go up, over, and back. Keep breathing. Inhale to rise. Exhale to reverse it. Pull your chin forward. Find that parallel chair. You back to the heels, rising. Heels down. Keep pulling forward, forward, forward as you lower. Standing forward bend, let it go. Inhale, half lift, extend the spine. Exhale, step into your plank posture. Shift your weight from there into your right hand for side plank Vashisthasana. Now, we've been here already, right? Modified version, so you can definitely stick with this. Or you can challenge yourself by keeping the extension of the legs. Feet either in a line or feet stacked, a little more challenging, just a bit less connection with the earth. Or top leg comes into tree pose. Lift your bottom hip up into your top. Push down and forward under your bottom hand. And then reach your top arm up. And you're welcome to stay here, or you're welcome to take a hold of that top hand, either below the thigh, or below the knee, or for your big finger, or your big toe hook, Padangusthasana. Peace fingers hold on to help you extend and lift. Now I like to really bend into that bottom leg first, so I can really feel my ground, and then accelerate, open, and lift. Now, it's not easy to talk while doing this, so breathe. Two more. And then release to plank pose. Just go right into that other side. First, a downward dog. So remember, everybody, make this what you need it this morning. Padangusthasana variation with a big fire and a big challenge, if you like. Up to you. Shift it forward on the inhale plank. Find your stack. And then open up to the other side. So your weight's in your left hand. Cross-reference it so you're evenly distributing your weight and energy really well. Micro bend the elbow a bit. Vashisthasana. Lift your bottom hip up into your top, kicking in those obliques. You can stay here. You can work it into tree. Padangustasana variation. You can hold with your hand or hook your big toe. Really get grounded into that bottom leg. And then expand into it. A few more breaths. And then when you release, come back to plank. Lower your knees. Child's pose. Thank God. Inhale to tabletop. Nice job, everybody. I was visualizing you all look very amazing and gorgeous in that side plank. Bring the tops of your hands to the mat so you can get a little bit of a counter stretch. You're welcome to go one at a time or both at the same time. Soften the elbows a bit, drawing some little tiny circles around the clock. And now, palms down, flipped wrists, fingertips back toward the knees. Find your breath. And inhale, round it up to cat. Exhale, arch into cow. Couple more. Come back to a neutral spine, unflip the wrists. Take a full body breath. My Instagram live just went out, so just gotta restart it. Okay. Let's see, it's 11. Oh my goodness, it's 11 o'clock. Hi, Instagram, I'm back, sorry. Okay, I think we still have a little bit more fire in us, yes? I see you there, Jessica, I know you do. Okay. Tabletop. Forearms. Bring them to the mat. Same dimensions. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Now you can keep your palms flat with your wrists in front of your elbows. You can also opt to join your hands together, interlacing your fingers. A little bit more contact with yourself might be helpful. And you can also use a block for a similar purpose. Just getting some contact, something to squeeze into so you know you're really engaging the proper amount of muscle energy to stabilize the structure of the pose. So wherever you are, just again, make sure your elbows are under your shoulders, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up. Finding your dolphin. Armpits into the heart. Keep that nice long lift of the tail. Just notice how that feels to open the shoulders, the chest. Take some pressure out of your wrists. Okay, now just to have some fun, let's shift this into forearm plank pose. So walk your feet back. I'm gonna switch myself a little forward. Knees down, always an option. Knees lifted, full forearm plank. Now let's just get a little bit sculpted here, party people. Zip your legs and your feet all the way together. Keep squeezing that block, keep pressing your hands together or into the mat. Now float your right leg. Keep the alignment otherwise. You just work a little tiny pulse, pulse, a little lift of that right leg. Should be feeling your hamstrings and your glutes big time here firing. For 3, 2, 1, switch it. Little pulse, little pulse, little pulse. Press down and a bit forward underneath your forearms and hands. Use that isometric engagement. Little pulse, little pulse. 5. 1, bring it down, open up your feet up again to hips width, and walk them forward so you're returning to your dolphin. Now here you can stay. Other options, knees down, puppy pose. Keep the tail lifted as you melt the heart and the head or the chin. There's also child's posture. Or I'm going to go into forearm stand, Pincha Mayurasana. Now, if you have a wall, feel free to use it to kick up to help hold you. I'll be demoing it here from the side so you can see alignment and form if you need. So again, rock any variation that serves you. Dolphin posture is your starting point. Now, so much of keeping balance in this pose is really just about the stack of the bones and how you utilize your strength and your energy. Squeeze that block, or press into your hands, whatever you're using. Now, if you are kicking up to a wall, make sure it's a light kick. Bring your feet together. Lift one leg up, whichever leg you like kicking up with is just fine. Then bend that bottom knee and take a couple little hops. Make them really nice and springy. Hop. Eventually you're gonna find your stack. Hips over the shoulders, over the elbows, legs on top. Forearm stand. How'd that go, guys? Should we try it one more time? Why not? Let's try one more time. Remember, you can always be just doing your own damn thing. Take care. Because we're gonna wind it down right after this anyway. So, dolphin. You're squeezing your block, or your hands are together, or your palms are flat. Make sure your elbows aren't slipping out wider than your shoulders, because then you'll just have to work way too hard in your chest and your upper body to keep it all together. So really, it's that sacred geometry that's going to support you to do this with as much ease as possible. So you can keep that sense of grace and lightness in a posture that's actually really challenging. And then remember your breath as well. It's going to keep you really calm and grounded too. Okay, round 2, and then we're done. Pincha Mayurasana, the forearm stand.
And I'm just gonna even imagine once you get up there that I came to you to bring my fist to squeeze or a block to squeeze between your legs. That's just gonna help you find your central channel that you can line up with. Thighs gonna rotate. And whenever you're done, come on out. And then let's just take a rest, either in child's or seated posture. Just a little bit of time to ground the body again after being upside down. Notice all the heat and the strength that you've tapped into this morning. Come back to the intention you set for your practice, that vision of gratitude. All right, come on to the back. Fairly quickly, take your right ankle across the ledge of your left thigh, figure 4 or thread the needle pose. Right arm through the gap to meet up with the left behind your left thigh. And just really keep your sacrum grounded into the mat. If you want more intensity out of the stretch, then you're going to pull that top leg all the way over and then grab your bottom leg with your right hand. So you're in Supta Gomukhasana, the reclined cow face posture. And it might be helpful to use your hands to manually inner rotate that top thigh. And then you can just get a little bit more into the center line. And as you pull down and out again, ground your sacrum, booty down, that nice little bit of curve in your lumbar spine rather than flattening it to the mat. Keep a little bit of lift. And breathe into your right hip. And then switch sides. Figure 4 or thread the needle. Or Supta Gomukhasana. Manually inner rotate the top thigh. Stack the knees, round the hips. You're still on a clock, right? So rather than letting that left hip hike up, keep it long at 9. One more breath. And then release that. Give yourself a big squeeze. And you can take this time to finish with any last pose or stretch your body's craving. Maybe it's a happy baby. Maybe it's a supine twist. Maybe it's a legs up the wall. Really anything that your heart is calling you toward. Go with that. It's always important to allow yourself some space to tap into intuition. So you know what you need to close it up. And when you are ready, extend your legs long. Extend your arms, palms up. Give yourself plenty of space to really rest and soften and melt. Inhale is that expansion outward, the yang energy, the doing, the effort. And exhale is the contraction into the nothing, the yin, the being, the grace.